Hello, pretty people. Welcome to Simply Delish Duo. We are so excited because today we will be making Ma's famous tiramisu. So if you like this recipe and want to see more, please subscribe to our channel or hit that subscribe button below. The ingredients we are using today are a package of Savoiardi cookies. My local grocery store didn't have the 250 milliliters of whipping cream, so I had to get the bigger one, but I will be using only half. So this one requires 250 mils of whipping cream. We are gonna use a half a cup of sugar. In a separate cup, I have 4 teaspoons of sugar. We're gonna use some vanilla. You will need cocoa powder, and I have 12 cups of espresso in this bowl that we will be using to dunk our
someone's dancing behind you. Sorry.
He loves this dessert. My husband is over the moon for this dessert.
That's why he's doing the moonwalk?
Yeah, that's why he's doing the moonwalk. Okay, it's hard to cook with him here or do anything.
Sorry, get back to the coffee.
Yes, get back to. So we will need, this is 12 cups of espresso coffee. And I'm going to be using a handheld mixer today. So what we will do is I am going to take out my cookies ahead of time because I like to be prepared once I start dunking my cookies.
So with the coffee, you've let it cool off?
Oh yes, yeah. I brewed it about a couple hours ago, and this is 12 cups of espresso coffee in the espresso maker.
Okay, and I was, my brother-in-law was dancing there, so I was distracted. You said Grand Marnier, and that's optional?
Grand Marnier, I don't even know because he was behind me. I was probably distracted myself. Here is 2 tablespoons of Grand Marnier. It is optional.
Okay.
This is my mom's recipe, and that's what she uses.
And when do you put the Grand Marnier in?
I will do it in just a second. I'm just going to open up these cookies, and you guys will know why I'm opening them up ahead of time, because your hands will be, you're dunking the cookies in the coffee mixture. That's what's going to be happening. And when the cookies aren't open, you don't want to be opening the packages. Okay. Last one.
Oh, you know what? Let's leave the last one. We'll show that after because we're not going to combine the whole thing.
So what I'm going to do, let's get the coffee.
Ready?
Yep, we're going to get the liquid. So you pour your Grand Marnier in there. You put, I love vanilla. I love the smell. I love the taste of vanilla. So I will put a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay? And also in your coffee mixture, what I also do, the 4 teaspoons of sugar that we had in this, we pour it in there. Okay? And give it a good stir because you want that sugar to melt in there.
To dissolve.
Or to dissolve, not even melt. Yeah, dissolve. And make sure it dissolves nicely. That smells nice, like bourbon.
I know.
And the coffee. Can you smell it?
Yeah, I can totally smell it from here.
Good. And I will set this aside right now. I'll give it a last stir before I dunk the cookies anyway. So I'm gonna set the mixture aside. In this bowl, I am going to pour half, which will be 250 milliliters of whipping cream, okay? So I'm gonna whip the cream ahead of time before I do the cheese. A little bit more, and that should do it.
So we'll be back.
Yeah, I'm gonna mix this whipped cream.
It'll be too loud. So we'll be back once the whipped cream is all whipped up.
You guys, I am sorry. I was extremely distracted because my husband being in the kitchen, there's a reason why I don't want him in the kitchen. I forgot the most important ingredient in this delicious dessert, mascarpone cheese. So you will need a tub, and there's so many different types. You can get any kind of mascarpone cheese.
And that's 450 grams.
Yeah, 450 grams. What we will do in this bowl, you will you know what? It's best when it's room temperature. So what I will do, let me just get this spoon, take it all out. Because it's creamier when it's room temperature. If it's not room temperature, it's a little harder to work with.
It's almost like a cream cheese.
It is,
almost,
yes.
isn't it?
Yeah, oh, and it tastes phenomenal. It is like a cream cheese.
It's smoother, I find. Yeah.
Yep, it's creamier and smoother. Okay, so what we will do, add in your half a cup of sugar that we put aside. That goes in there. Add that in. And you don't have to, just mix it just so it comes nice and creamy. So probably a couple minutes. You don't want to overmix it. Our mascarpone cheese and our sugar is all creamed together. The whipped cream that we had I whipped up earlier, we're gonna actually put it all together with the mascarpone. Now I'm gonna use a mixer to mix this on very low speed. You could also fold it in, whichever. I find it easier, just on very low speed with the mixer, so.
And once again, this recipe is an eggless tiramisu.
Yes, it is. And tiramisu, translated in English, is pull me up. So it's a pick-me-up dessert. It's a really good dessert. Yeah, I like it because it is eggless, actually. And that's what I really, really like about it. So yeah, very low speed and just mix it for seconds. Just so everything's blended in together.
Okay.
There, see, on very low speed, and that did it. You can also, like I said, fold it. There, so now, 1 second. Sorry. Oh, okay, there. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab our big pan here. You get your coffee in front of you. Let's move this over a bit so you guys could see better here. There. Okay, we have our coffee, we have our cookies, and we have our pan. Dunk, give this just a stir, just in case the sugar, no, it's pretty well. So, you dunk your cookies, and don't leave them in there too long because they really soak up that coffee. What we're gonna do, we're gonna line them this way for our first row.
So this is a 2-row, is this a 2-row?
Yeah, it's a 2-row.
Okay.
We're making a 2-row mascarpone. So, line them this way. And again, dunk and take them out right away because they soak up fast and you don't want them crumbling and breaking because that's what will happen. And the best time to make this dessert is the night before or the day before. Put it in the fridge overnight and you can have it for dessert the next day. It's better because then the cookies are soaked in. That coffee and the liquor, of course, is soaked in there. And with the cheese too. The tastes blend in together. So,
and it's not as dry, I find.
No, it's nice and moist. That's why best results the day before or the night before. Or if you're having guests that evening, morning. But don't do it a few hours before you're gonna have the dessert. You know what, I'm gonna put this roll like this. Now, when we do our second layer, I'll explain when we get there. Remember which way you put your cookies in. You could see they're already really softening up. So, kind of push them together so you don't have gaps in between. Perfect. So what we're gonna do now, take half of your cheese, take half of it, and just, and spread it nicely over the cookies, okay? Just half of the cheese, because the other half goes on top. Remember, we put our cookies in this way, okay? And I'll explain later to when we get
to that second
layer.
layer.
To that second layer. But do you see how the cookies are really soaking up that coffee? We could actually set another row because, like I said, you don't want gaps. You could just push it in a bit, okay?
And we've got enough cookies in.
Oh, we have enough. We have more than enough, yeah. Yeah. There, just push it in. And spread it gently. You don't want to push too hard because what's going to happen, I don't really want to show you what will happen, but I can show you. So
it actually happened. Didn't you take that first layer? Is that what?
No, the cookie didn't come.
Oh, okay.
What happens is you will take a first layer of cookie and you don't want that. That's if you press too hard. So just, yeah, see, you can see, it can happen. Just right in there, blend it in a bit. just very gently, just spread it nicely all over the top layer of your cookie, or cookies, pardon me.
So we'll finish spreading and we'll be right back to show you what.
Yeah, because this does take just a little bit of time.
Well, we're almost done here, but we'll be back just to show you our second layer. We've
spread our cheese, mascarpone cheese and whipped cream nicely on top of our first layer. So what we're gonna do next is you could use actually shaved chocolate, but we're using cocoa powder. And I'm gonna put some in a sifter, sift it around so it evenly coats. And you don't wanna dump too much, but yeah, just so you can get an evenly coated cocoa powder on top of this first layer. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is you're gonna dunk your next layer of cookies in there. Now remember, we had positioned them in this way. So what we're gonna do is we're going to...
So they were vertical.
Vertical, yeah. Now we're gonna put them in horizontal.
Except for that last part there, right?
Exactly, that's where we have to remember. This last part was horizontal. So we place these in vertically on the very top layer. And try to get them in as close as you can on the top layer also.
Okay, and we'll be back once we're ready to spread the top layer.
We've completed the second layer of cookies, and the second batch of mascarpone cheese I already put on top of here. And just spread it all on top of your top layer here. Make sure again it's evenly spread, and don't press hard. This is what takes lots of patience and time, right? Because you want to make sure you're not tearing.
Well, that's also because you're a perfectionist.
Well,
I kind of slob mine all over the place.
No, I don't like to tear the top layer of the cookie, and I like to have it nice and smooth.
Gets in my tummy anyway.
I know, but yeah.
I know. Food is all about the eyes too.
It is,
right?
absolutely.
You eat with your eyes.
There.
All right.
So now, once you're done spreading your your mascarpone cheese, pardon me, what we do is your last sprinkle of cocoa powder, and again, you could use shaved chocolate.
That looks so good. And it's a shame that we have to let this sit because I want a piece right now.
Yeah, your best results are let it sit overnight. Or like I said, in the morning, and then, we'll just do this, make it simple, fast and easy there.
Well, this is our eggless recipe for tiramisu. Ma's famous tiramisu.
Hope you enjoyed our recipe, our dessert today, and don't forget to subscribe to Simply Delish Duo.
See you next time.